Hello everybody and welcome back to a new episode here on the channel, a new series on the channel, Formula 1 2019. Hopefully we have many episodes to come, but we're going to be doing the Formula 2 Journey to F1 in today's episode. There's going to be a lot of cutscenes in this one, so there's not going to be a whole lot of commentary in this race, but I will be showing some snippets, obviously, of the races and how we do. But like I said, not a whole lot of commentary, and there won't be any cinematic cameras, just because it was just the introduction with F2 into Formula 1. But I believe the team I chose was Prema, and I will say the car was a lot harder to drive than I was expecting, but we're going to get into it here to the first cutscene, and I will see you guys back once we get into the racing.
Prema's new driver really commanding the race here. Devon Butler still ruthlessly giving chase. These two have been really scrapping it out for the early wins in the championship. And something's wrong. Butler sees his chance. Some kind of mechanical failure. Picking up speed again. It's unclear what the issue was. Can they still finish this race?
Alright, so we get thrown into the car here in the Spanish Grand Prix, just in front of our teammate Lucas Weber. I guess that's how you pronounce it, if I remember correctly from other videos I've seen. But we got Weber and Devon Butler, the two rivals that will go to F1 with us in this game there. And the team order was to let Lucas go, and I went a little bit wide, and there you see Lucas got to my inside, so I backed out of it, and I said, okay, he can just go and take the position. You're not going to hear any audio from Jeff because I had the audio level thing messed up, so you won't hear him, I don't think, at all in this episode. But I came into the last corner, and you see just how much understeer this car had, and I made a huge mistake, just an idiotic mistake. Went off track into the sand, came back on the track, and we drifted outside of the top 10. That pretty much did me in for the rest of this event, as we just had a moment there with the guy in 10th place. Aitken, I think is how you pronounce it, but we were down here in P11 pretty much for the rest of this event. We would actually drop down a little bit more, I believe, down to P12, but yeah, it was very tough in this first race, just driving this car. Really, throughout the first three races, I just couldn't quite get a handling on this F2 car. Devon Butler, our rival, does come home with the victory. A lot of oversteer on the exit of that corner there, as we're just in front of the guy behind me. Gunther looks like in the BWT car now as we head down towards the last corner, but coming through in our first Formula 2 race with a very poor race effort here as we come across the line. It would be P12 here in our first race in Formula 2, so not very good for myself in this first one, but hopefully we can rebound in the next one, which I believe is Austria, if I remember correctly. But these cars were certainly hard to drive, and it was kind of aggravating at times how difficult they were compared to the F1 car. But this game still feels great, looks great. I was very impressed with what I saw. But there you see the winner, Devon Butler, on your screen. And then we would come through to Emma after the race, as you guys get to see this cutscene.
It definitely got people talking about you, which means I was able to secure a quick interview. Okay, we're all set over here. Just a minute. Remember, anything you say to the press can go very, very public. So be relaxed, but also be conscious of what you're saying and how it might come across to other people, okay? I think we're ready.
Great. So Emma keeps telling me you're the one to watch this season. If that's true, you'll be doing plenty of these. Just remember, be yourself. And the more you can give me, the better this will go. Right, stand here. Turn a little this way for me. Perfect. Ready? An exciting race today. Let's get your perspective. So you and Lucas are new to the team. How are you settling
So I think we're kind of struggling to settle in, but there's not really many good options, so I said we're settling in well to start.
Okay, so how did you feel about being ordered to give up the position to Lucas?
It obviously wasn't much of a big deal to me. I kind of like the team player role, so I think the team made the right decision to order me out of the way.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Alright, so there's our first interview done, and now we have the post-race cutscene with our teammate and Devon.
That wasn't easy letting me pass, but it was the right choice. It was good driving.
Yeah, that's how I describe it, mate. Just good, not great. 1 in 6. 1 in 6 makes the leap to F1. The other 5 are still watching their less talented teammates collect all their points. Shame, really. A lot of great drivers never get their chance because they do it all for the team.
Those teams got us here.
Yeah, but it's the drivers that take the risk. We should get the rewards. You ever won a race in F1? That's how winners think.
And remind me, how many F1 races have you won?
Watch this space. At the end of this championship, I'll be the one lifting the trophy, and I won't use my teammates to nick the podium.
Okay, I'm out. You believe what you want, Devon, but it's still early days.
He's either very clever or you're just a pushover. You really think if the situation was reversed, he'd do the same for you? You want to start looking out for yourself. No one else will.
So not sure how much I'm liking this Devin Butler guy so far. Let me know in the comments if you guys like him or not. I don't really care for him, but this would throw us now into the next race here for Austria. Now as we get ready, I believe it was due to contact with Devin Weber, as you get to see the cutscene right here on your screen now.
Look at them go! Devin Butler locked in wheel-to-wheel racing with his championship rival, desperate to shut them down and stop them getting past. And there's contact. Butler simply left them nowhere to go. There was just no way for them to have avoided that. And look, there's significant damage. Not sure if that was down to recklessness or sheer aggression, but I'm sure the stewards are going to have something to say very shortly.
So we just made heavy contact with our rival Devin Butler. He was handed a time penalty. We had to come to pit road to get some repairs and get a new front wing. So this would obviously be a big setback. And I had the AI, I forgot to mention, at 107, which was seeming to be a little bit too hard. I'm not sure if it's just because I didn't have a setup in the car or what it was, but usually I run at 107 or 108. But it was seeming pretty tough, at least in Formula 2, so I figured I would turn it down for 105 if it continued like this, going pretty low there. But you see P11 right now, and we really wouldn't get very far now as we came through on lap 36, approaching just 4 laps to go in the Austrian Grand Prix. Devin Butler, he's up well inside the top 10 at the moment. We're trying to run him down, but I was very unsuccessful in doing that. Now as we came to the final lap, I had made no progress at all in this race. We ran down the guy in 10th a little bit, but that was the best I could do. I was starting to set some better times. As you see on the right side of the screen, the times is continuing to be green each and every sector, but it still wasn't good enough to run down our rival Devin Butler. So we were going to come through here into the final few corners with another disappointing 11th place finish now as we go a little bit wide on the curbs, coming through the last right-hander now on the exit, getting up on the curbs, getting a little bit of oversteer as we come through to cross the line. We would go P11 in Austria. So very disappointing 2 races we've done in Formula 2 so far here in our career, and hopefully when we go into the next race at, I believe, is the finale of Abu Dhabi, we can run a little bit better.
Let's have your take.
It seems to me that collision with Devon clearly cost you a lot of time. Are you disappointed with the final result?
Certainly disappointed, but we got to focus on the next race at this point now.
So did you ever think you'd get the place back from Devon?
Honestly, I did not think there was a chance we were going to get the place back. He just seemed a little bit too far ahead, so I knew I wasn't going to really be able to get him, considering the gap he had.
I've seen that you and Lucas have been picking up a lot of points recently. What do you think of your championship chances?
Well, we've got a lot of momentum, which is a good feeling, so hopefully we can continue it here towards Abu Dhabi.
Well, that's everything.
Alright, so we got that interview done with Claire now as we have the post-race cutscene.
Devon, stop!
Not now, I'm busy.
Hey! What are you doing out there? Seriously?
I'm gonna celebrate my excellent drive.
We saw what you did. It was reckless. You should have been black flagged.
Yeah, and I wasn't because it was my line. You were in my space. You shouldn't have been. Next time, stay out of my way.
No! Someone could have been hurt.
And that didn't happen, so what's your problem?
My problem is that your actions out there are too dangerous.
Listen, contact happens, okay? Took my penalty, but I kept it focused, kept it smooth, and came out on top. That's racing. I make a tough move. You want to play race director? Then quit driving and take the job. Until then, I don't owe you anything.
Devon, you don't get it. It's not me you should be apologizing to.
Look, you grab your space on the track, and then it's all or nothing. That's just how it goes. And anyway, you still couldn't beat me, even with my penalty. So no hard feelings, okay? Not from my end anyway. Chin up.
So Devin not feeling like he did anything wrong. In my opinion, he's in the wrong, but oh well. But now we got the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix to finish up the season, so I'll see you guys back once we get to the car.
Every bit as exciting as we might have hoped. So the Yas Island circuit offers 21 corners and a lap distance of around 3.4 miles. There are a few opportunities to pass with long straights and DRS zones in 2 places, turns 8 and 11. Plenty of close racing then, plenty of speed and plenty of excitement for the fans, no doubt. Joining me for one last time here this year is Davide Valsecchi. Davide, I'm glad you're here because I think I'm going to need help processing all this. Surely, this is as exciting as it gets.
Yeah, you're right, Alex. It's the perfect finale. 2 drivers, rivals of season, now going into the final race, tied on points. Both way out in front at the top of the standings. Meaning whichever of these 2 drivers cross the line first will be crowned champion. I can't wait.
Alright, so the goal is pretty simple in this race. Beat our rival Devin Butler to win the championship. With considering how our first 2 races have gone, it sounds a little bit harder than what it's going to be now as we get ready. Or I think it's going to be harder than what it sounds like, I should say. Now, as we would change it to increased top speed. Obviously, there's a big long straightaway here in Abu Dhabi. So we would get ready to go green from P8 here behind Lando Norris, who moves up to F1 as well next season with our teammate Lucas Faber up ahead, and Butler as well. Now, as it's 5 red lights, and they are out, and away we go with a very poor start as the car kind of stalls on me as we head down towards turns 1, losing many positions as we head down to the first turn, falling back to P13, sending it into turns 1. Now, as we come out of turns 1, sitting in that 11th position, not a good start at all for me here in the season finale in Formula 2 in Abu Dhabi now, as we sit behind 10th place of Fuoco, if I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm not really sure of really many drivers at all. In Formula 2 there was to make a big diving move of the inside, making contact there as I was not expecting the big checkup, and when I pulled to the left to get on the brakes, it just locked up on me there as we come through into the hairpin with the car on my right hand side. As we exit the hairpin though, P10 as we went down the back straightaway, and it would be a big struggle to get myself towards, or just get myself forwards in general. We would get to P9 as we now came to lap 3, trying to run down the guy in 8th place, and to my kind of, fortunate for me I should say, there was a car up in about 4th or 5th that was having some damage, and he was starting to hold up some of the cars ahead of me now as we came through. This is the guy right here. He had gotten past, and we had ran him down as we were trying to take over P7 as we had moved up to P8, and he's just kind of a roadblock at the moment, so I look to his right hand side and finally get past him and move up into 7th for the brief amount of time there, as we were still way behind Devin Butler at this point, so I know our chances aren't very good, and we would sit in P7 all the way up until now the 7th lap of 11 here in this race. Things certainly not looking good for myself at this point. Like I said before, I just could not find the pace that I needed in this Formula 2 car, and as we came through on lap 9, still P7, but now we got Aitken right behind me, following me wherever I go down the straightaway. He has a big run with the DRS, and he looks to my left hand side as we head down towards the left-hander. Aitken has the edge, he locks up with the right front, but he hangs onto the position there as we nearly get into the back of him, into his gearbox, but thankfully we keep off of him there as we got a little bit of oversteer on the exit of the corner, and we would continue falling down the order once again. We dropped down to P9 behind 8th place of Fukuzumi there, as it was just not going well here in Abu Dhabi as we were approaching now the final lap of this Grand Prix. Devin Butler had the championship locked up. As long as he doesn't have some type of mechanical issue, he will definitely win the championship. Now as we're coming through onto the last lap into the final sector here of Sector 3 with Fuoco behind me there in that 10th position. Fukuzumi still up there in P8. Devin Butler, unfortunately, the guy we don't really like, is going to come through to win the championship. Sergio Set Camara wins the race there as we come through into the second last corner, just holding on to P9. We haven't had a points finish, so I guess this is something to be excited about right now as we come through the last corner. We're going to come through to get P9 in the season finale and lose out on the championship to Devin Butler, who holds on there. So a great effort for Devin Butler, I guess, not for myself, as we just could not get a handle on this car. I just couldn't get comfortable in this car. It was really unfortunate, but there's Devin Butler, your champion.
And here's another to add to that prestigious list. It's the ultimate dream for any racing driver. We have a new Formula 2 world champion.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
Not sure if I would call it amazing.
So that was a thrilling end to the season. How was the race for you?
Well, it wasn't very good for us if you ask me, but yeah, it wasn't easy, but it was a great race and I'm certainly pleased with the result.
You went into this final race with the championship in your grasp. How are you feeling?
So obviously I was disappointed. I kind of cut that question short and just answered it right away.
Rumors of a possible future for you
Possible future in F1. Obviously, I won't like to speculate, but if F1 teams are interested, I would certainly take the call.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Alright, so there's our final F2 interview, and here's a pulse race with Lucas and Devin.
Much as it hurts, we admit that was a great drive today. Congratulations on the championship as well.
Well, I'm sure you thought you had me for a while, but I guess your luck just didn't hold out. Oh, I haven't got long. Could I have a quick word?
Sure.
Privately.
Oh, okay. I'll see you later then.
So, I'm sure you've probably already heard, but if you haven't, I'm going to be racing in the F1 Championship next year. Now, I don't know what your plans are, but let me give you some friendly advice. Don't try following me. Well, sure. You might get an offer from one of the smaller teams, probably someone desperate, and then you'll be stuck in P18 all season with car trouble. And you won't ever really be able to challenge me. But you stick it out here for another year, now that I'm gone, you've got a fighting chance of winning next year. And if you can manage that, I'm sure one of the larger teams would love to have you as a development driver. Oh, look out for yourself, yeah?
Man, he does not want to race you. Stay in F2? Ridiculous.
I was listening to the whole thing. Too bad for Devin, though. I'd be shocked if you don't have an F1 contract offer already. And if my deal pans out, man, his head is going to explode.
Alright, so now it was time to sign our first ever Formula One contract as our agent Emma comes in here at the moment as we still have our driver suit on in this beautiful office now as we get ready to choose our F1 team. I will see you guys back when we choose the team that we go to.
We have the big conversation about your next move. Your performance at the F2 Championships last year got you a lot of attention from the Formula One teams. Some of it more positive than others. I'm not so concerned with who does or doesn't like you. You'll have plenty of time to win the doubters over. But I am concerned with our choices. They're narrowing as we haven't shown commitment to anyone. Now, as your agent, my advice is to make your decision now. We can worry about comfort and finer points further down the line. I need you to review these. You've earned every single one of these proposals. So take your time, have a read through, and don't get too hung up on specifics. Let's get you a Formula One seat.
Alright, so we're going to choose a team. I forgot to mention, I chose the Ferrari Academy, and we were going to go to the Haas F1 team there, as you see me just looking through, but Haas F1 is a team that we will be starting on for our Formula One career, so hopefully things will go well. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. If you want to see more F1 content, make sure to hit that like button, and certainly let me know that you enjoy what you see. But yes, we're going to Rich Energy Haas F1 team, so hopefully we can do very well over there with this team in our first season. Hopefully we can kind of battle for some top 10s often.
Excellent choice. From my conversations with them, they're going to be very excited to pursue this opportunity with you. I'll let them know our intentions immediately. I'll have to clean up some final details with them, but that's what you pay me for. Other than that, congratulations.
Alright, so that'll do it for this episode, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the next one for our first race in Australia. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a great day.